Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to our Dhaddhi class at Nanak Gudwara, Warsaw Road, Willenhall. The children will be asking questions about Dhaddhi and Sarangi, and this is to help them learn the basics before they start learning to play the instruments.
How did you get into Dhaddhi?
I got into Dhaddhi actually after when I was in the university. I went to see one of the Dhaddhis in the Gudwara who came from Punjab, Gyani Daya Singh Dilbar, and Pai Jeet Singh, Pai Padher, Pai Mast. And I didn't know much about Dhaddhi at that time, but when I went to the Gurdwara, and I was so attracted, so pulled towards the Dhaddhi. Maybe it was my current from the last life, and I just got attracted straight away. And as soon as I came home, I ordered a Sarangi from India, so I can start learning Sarangi. That's how I first got into Dhaddhi.
What are the instruments used in Dhaddhi?
The instrument you play with the Dhaddhi rag is one Sarangi, one person which plays the Sarangi. Sarangi looks like basically like this. And then you have a two Dhadda. Dhadda basically looks like this. And then two person each side plays the Dhadda.
Is the Sarangi or Dhadd difficult to play?
Well, people say the Sarangi is harder to play than harmonium and the Vajja. But basically, I think if I can play, I didn't have any knowledge of music, Vajja or Sarangi. It's your interest at the end of the day. If you're interested in anything, I think then you can play, but it doesn't matter how hard it is. So it's down to you how interested you are in playing the instrument, whether it's Vajja, Tolki, Tapla or Sarangi. It's down to you.
Can you explain what a Sarangi is?
Sarangi is a wooden instrument. It's carved out of one block of wood, and actually the person who crafts the Sarangi out of wood, he takes quite a long time. He actually carve everything, all the wood out of the middle, which makes this hub here, and then he drill out all these holes on the side, and all these holes on the top, and basically the Sarangi is instrument which played with a bow. It's called a bowed instrument. You play with a bow, and it rubs on the three stands on the top, and there's a lot of resonance wires underneath. Basically, when they're tuned up, they hum when you actually play the notes on the main stands, the three stands on the top. So if the Sarangi is tuned up properly, there's about eight stainless steel wires on this side. There's 8 here, and then three at the bottom, 3 at the top. There's a set of 5s here. And when it's all tuned up, the tune is the same way as you tune the Vajja, you play the Vajja notes. And once everything tuned up and you play the Sarangi, the whole thing like you hum, like a beehive.
How do you play the Sarangi?
The Sarangi is played by rubbing the bow, which comprises of horsehair on here, and you put a resin on the gauge to give a vibration, and you rub that on the 3 strands on the Sarangi, the thick 3 strands. The bottom strands just resonate with the top strands. So if I give a demonstration, you play. So as you put more pressure on the gauge, on the strands, the higher the noise, the louder the noise. The less pressure you push on, the lower the noise. So the notes you play is very much the same as Vajja. So sa, re, ga, which we play on the side. Actually, the violin is played with your fingertips, but the Sarangi is played with actually your nails. Using your nails, right angle to the stand, and putting pressure on the side of the stand. If I say basically that's your sa, and then if you hold that again, it's your stand here. That's become your re. Okay.
What is the difference between a classical Sarangi and a Dhaddhi Sarangi?
The main difference between classical Sarangi and the Dhaddhi Sarangi is basically the number of strands you have on the Sarangi. On the Dhaddhi Sarangi, you have 3 thick strands on the top, and because most of the time we play Vara and Sake, whereas the classical Sarangis were far more notes, and they have a 4th strand here as well, so they play far more notes than the Dhaddhi Sarangis. So Dhaddhi Sarangi is easy to learn, the classical Sarangi. Classical Sarangis it takes years to master, whereas the Dhaddhi Sarangi basic tunes you can learn very quickly within a few years.
What is the difference between Vajja notes and Sarangi notes?
The Vaja note and the Sarangi note are basically same. It's an octave on a Vaja and the same octave on Sarangi as well. Whereas you have probably 2.5 octaves on a Vaja, and here you basically just 1 octave on here, and then if you want to make any more, you can play on these strands here. So to give you an idea, you play Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa, Da, Ni, Sa. Right, that's 1 octave. And the way you play on the Vaja is already made for you. Whereas on Sarangi, depending on the size of the Sarangi and the type of Sarangi, these notes could be a little bit different distance to each other. So every different Sarangi will have a little bit difference between where the size, where the raise. But you have to, so whatever Sarangi you have to get used to it first when you start playing. Then you find you know where your note, and then automatically your fingers will go there. So give you an example. Then basically that's your Sa, and that's your Re, that's your Ga, Ma. So these fingers here, they're close together here. So it's not like Vaja. So whereas it from Re was here, now Ga's here, Ma, Pa, Da, Ni, Sa. So that's your same notes as your Vaja.
Can you explain what a Dhaddhi is?
The Dhaddhi is basically a wooden instrument. It's carved out of, again, one piece of wood. This carved out inside is a hollow base, which is covered by the 2 outer rings made of leather, and is threaded with a piece of string all the way around. And then you've got this piece of cloth here, which is threaded through the round of the base, and you wrap it around all the way around the strings. And when it finishes, and you hold it with the 3 fingers, 2 fingers inside, 1 finger outside to support the tad. So you hold the tad like a bird is sitting on your hand, just ready to fly off. And you don't hold it like that, or you don't hold it like that, and you have to rest it on your hand, support it on your hand. And the way you play the tad is different to the little bit different to the tolki and the tabla. Where tabla, once you tune it, stays at same pitch, and the same with the tolki. Once you tuned it up, it stays 1 pitch. Whereas tad played by actually putting the pressure on the strings. How tight you pull the string is to give you what sort of noise you get out of it. So if you play loose, you got a shallow voice, and then if you tighten it, you've got a higher pitch voice.
How do you play the dad?
Okay, the way you play the tad is, as I just showed you, is by adjusting the pressure on the strings around the tad with your one hand. The other hand basically plays the note just like a tabla. So if you play a basic note for the tad, which is Dhaddhi mostly commonly play, which is 2 loose the taps and 2 to the higher pressure taps, basically. So that's the one basic tune for the Dhaddhi. And if you just give you an example of another one, is which is played when you're singing faster with the Dhaddhi, you can't play this very fast. So what do they basically do? You play